So, very, very interesting thing that happened just within 1 week. Okay. And of course, it has to do with Bajrangabali, Hanuman. So, anyway, what happened is after 20 years, literally, I would say probably 20 years, maybe more, I finally spoke to my cousin. My cousin called my mom. They were talking. They're like, please have a couple call me. I just need to talk to a couple about something. I'm like, okay. So I called, and it was great connecting with this person for a long time. And we got talking about my astrologer uncle Chacha in India. He's bedridden. He can't even like get up because of the back issue. But we were talking about him and how his interest in astrology actually started from my own grandfather, who was obsessed with astrology. He brought astrologers from all over India to his home, had them stay in the home, learn from them. Every other evening, somebody was coming, and there used to be these group of 4, 5, 6 people, and they would discuss astrology. And this is how my chacha actually found interest in astrology. And I wish my grandfather was alive right now. I think he and I would be best friends. I didn't know this. I found out about the hint of this last year, but really got to understand more this time. So again, I'm just the apple who hasn't fall far from the tree. So, but anyway, so my cousin's like, listen, I need you to look at my chart. I really want to know when can I get job. I have been looking for a long time. It's not working out. So I'm like, okay, forget the chart right now. We'll look at that later. I'm like, let's do a video call. So they did a video call. I'm like, okay, if you're home, show me around the house. So they were home. I'm like, okay, looking at everything. I'm like, okay, get a smartphone compass. Get your spouse or someone else's smartphone compass. So I'm like, go to the entrance. What degree is it? Okay, and then of course they're living in a flat. So mostly all apartments and flats have entrances either in far right or far left. And it was a south-facing entrance. And then they were also showing me that, I have Hanuman sitting right on top of the southern direction. And south direction is good. You can definitely have Hanuman in south direction. But their concern at that particular time was nothing else but job and career, right? So I have to take that into perspective. So first thing I said is this. Take Hanuman, shift that image of Hanuman in the exact west wall of your flat or your apartment. So from the middle of the apartment, I said, just put Hanuman in the west. Second, put a red color tape at the bottom of your main door. Just get a red tape and put it at the bottom of your main door. Let's just do these 2 things, okay? I saw the rest of the things that are fine. Just do these 2 things and let's talk in 3, 4 days and see what happens. And then we were looking at his chart. So the next day, I get a text and I still have it saved. They're like, thank you, couple, bye. I got a job. Company called me, offered me a job. And this is the company. It's not like they sent a resume just recently. No, they sent it long back. But because of their backlog, whatever, they didn't get a chance. But suddenly they called him, offered him a job, made me feel so good about it. But then what is the logic? See, the logic is, if you said, I want to feel confident. I want to feel, confident and not feel nervous about things. And I want respect. I'm like, okay, put Hanuman in the south. But because the concern was career, I went to west, not even north. It's not about money. It's about job, right? First. So west is controlled by Shani, Saturn. And Hanuman is that one god that Shani will bow and respect to. We all know that with the story. This is why I'm like, okay, let's just shift that in the west. Because what Hanuman has the ability to lift something from bottom to high. It lifts a person who is fearful and anxiety, who has a lot of, issues in their life. Hanuman will uplift this person, kind of like calm that churning in the mind. So what happens in West, Hanuman is lifting West. West is what? West is gains, profit, desires, and work. It's West direction. It's Shani. So it starts lifting that up. So that's the logic that I used. But again, all problems are not the same. You could be actually hired, you could be in a job, but you could be having some other issue at work. In that case, I wouldn't tell you to switch to Hanuman. Then also, my mom last week, for the last whole month, she's been frustrated because we got all the stuff for her bathroom and her doors, and because she has a separate apartment in my own home, her own kitchen, bathroom, everything. And so she's been wanting, so I ordered the door, I ordered the cabinets, I ordered the backyard door she wanted to change, everything, okay? And we couldn't find a single person to come. Everybody's busy, and the person who was coming delayed it, and wouldn't pick up the phone. But then I also noticed my mom had Hanuman in the north. I'm like, Mom, can you put Hanuman in the west? And this was actually done maybe a day or two before I spoke to my cousin, myself. So I had my mom shift Hanuman, and it was a white color Hanuman. And of course, west is white direction. It's sky, it's space. So I said, just put it in the west. And today, it's almost a week or less than a week. Everything was done today. The guy just left. The original guy who was delaying things, would pick up the call, busy, can't come, finally came and finished the work. So see how for two people, the same Hanuman remedy kind of worked, because Shani is construction as well. Shani, especially in Nadi astrology, represents construction. So I'm like, okay, let's try this. Again, with my mom too, I'm like, okay, let's just try it. Let's put Hanuman in the west, requesting Shani, my boy, my friend, let's get something going. So it happened, so, and then of course the red tape because of the south direction, So yeah, I just wanted to share this of how sometimes you don't even look at a chart, you go straight to the problem and you try to find the solution there. Now, of course, when I looked at their chart, one thing I also said, I'm like, you should be in occult and mysticism yourself. The way their Saturn-Ketu combination was. And of course, I also said hospitality, land, real estate becomes extremely good for you. And they're like, I've been in food. I remember when I was in food, I was doing really well. And they said, it's funny you say this, just last week, I signed up for a tarot class. I found somebody here and I was so interested because of course they got their own reading through tarot, and they're like, I signed up, I got into it. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, look at Saturn transiting right, at the right places for this to be happening. But I was just simply looking at the chart and saying that, hey, you should be look for similar things. You'll do well in these things. I'm like, you should actually learn Vastu yourself. So yeah, Jai Hanuman Ji ki. Thank you. We'll see you tomorrow. And of course, these are, especially some of the other things that I've discussed is in my Vastu course, simplified Vastu course that I have it on my academy, Maga Vedic Astrology Academy. It's not like some big course. It's a quick course that gives you, it's like practicals that have things that I've done in the last 6 years, that I saw a result with. I'm like, okay, I got to share it. If I don't see a result, there's no need to share those things. Okay. So anyway, guys, we'll see you tomorrow with our regular series. Bye-bye.